You know what wasn't in the news and we didn't actually put on this show, and we can start off with that. It's Terry Crews.
Yeah.
Let's get into some coon shit.
Yeah, Terry Crews.
Let's start the show off strong with some coon shit. Terry Crews was like, yo, what did he say? Something about like, we got to be careful or we'll be getting black supremacy, and we don't want to start black supremacy. I have the actual quote right here. I'm going to pull it up really quick.
Yeah, it was a tweet he sent that definitely used the phrase black supremacy.
It wasn't even just a tweet. It was like multiple tweets. And then
it was also like, who are you arguing against right now?
He was getting into it with people about it. Yeah, I don't think anyone ever argued any of that stuff with him. He simply was like, I'm Terry Crews, and people expect me to make a stupid statement, so I have to do that. Here's the first one. Defeating white supremacy without white people creates black supremacy. Equality is the truth. Like it or not, we are all in this together. Yeah, Terry, talk that shit. Let me go to the next one.
Like it or not.
Oh, yeah.
I don't see a lot of movement being like, and fuck white people, get out of here.
No, but it's Terry Crews. Any black person who calls me a coon, see, and an Uncle Tom for promoting equality is a black supremacist, because they have determined who's black and who is not. And then like Tyler James Williams from Everybody Hates Chris, who played Chris Rock, who Terry Crews played his dad. He tweeted him and was like, I'm not trying to call you out at Terry Crews. You know it's all love always. But we're rightfully angry right now and fed up with anyone not with our cause wholeheartedly. I don't want to see that energy pointed your way or diverted from the actual cause. Very well said, well spoken. Terry Crews responds, I understand, Tyler. I was not saying black supremacy exists, because it doesn't. I am saying if both black and whites don't continue to work together, bad attitudes, let's talk about them. Bad attitudes and resentments can create a dangerous self-righteousness. That's all. And then Godfrey, the comedian, came in and said, I love you as a friend, Brother Terry, but I disagree with you 100%. No such thing as black supremacy. That is a tactic that racist whites use to counteract our rebellion to their horrific treatment of us. It's called gaslighting. Black pride isn't anti-white.
Right.
And Terry Crews just kept going. But I just thought it was interesting that Terry Crews is now, it's like almost like he wants this position of like just saying stupid shit. Like he like goes after it. It's like no one's ever talking to him, ever. No one ever asks Terry Crews any question. But you know what, Terry Crews has always come across like that. I think that black people was like an Uncle Tom, like he shucks and jives. He wants to dance to make white people like him. He's this big black guy that wants white people so much to believe. I'm not scary. I'm this big black guy. So he overcompensates and always gets into this weird place in the middle ground of
I think he was right on with he's diverting attention. And he did it 100%. With Me Too, right?
100%.
It was like, hey, women are finally standing up. He's like,
well, my dick was grabbed.
Me too. Hashtag Me Too.
Isn't it called the Me Too movement?
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Happened to me.
Yeah, and yeah, he does that now. It's just, I don't know. It's the weirdest shit. I don't get it.
It's like, sure, but off topic, right? Like that's your overall response.
Yeah.
To him. It's like, well, I don't disagree with you, but like, why are you acting as if there is this movement that doesn't exist? Because now you're putting arguments into the other side's head, right?
For no reason.
Yeah.
For no one even was talking to him. Period. He just came in and was like, hypothetically speaking, black supremacy could become a thing. And you're like, what the fuck? We're just trying to get equality right now. You talking about black supremacy?
And it's not
how far down the line would that be?
Yeah. Where is he seeing this?
I don't know.
It's this ongoing like fictional enemy though that I just keep seeing brought up of like,
Black supremacy?
It's not black supremacy, but it's the same thing with the rioters, same thing with Antifa, same things with like this black supremacy doesn't exist. A lot of these Antifa people that Trump is talking about don't exist. A lot of the looting does exist, but then there's this other narrative that looting is coming to small towns everywhere that doesn't really exist, but we're pretending like there's enemies. It's just in my vision, it's a way to like fuel arguments that otherwise wouldn't have anything to stand on.
You know what I always think about? I always think about the people on Melrose and all the places and all the stores right now that got looted. And that one dude who got the call that was like, yo, man, they're looting all the Melrose. You got to go help protect your store. And he went down there and the looting was over and nothing of his was taken.
Did that happen?
No, I just imagine that dude was like super sad though, and he was like, "What the fuck?
Why didn't anyone break into my store?
Still don't want my stuff? This is crazy. This is crazy." And I imagine it definitely happened for a couple. My girl told me it happened for a couple shops, and people were like, "Oh, they didn't take anything from that shop."
I still have to sell this entire fall collection.
Exactly. You can't even get that insurance money. That sucks. You gotta steal your own shit. You gotta get down there and steal your own shit.
Yeah, it was looted. It was looted.
Sir, we have you on camera. You used the key to get in.
All right, I'm giving it away, but I'd love the. That's funny. Well, it's also funny to me that there seems to be these people lining up to protect their businesses. When I was like, there's a lot of ways to protect your business. Noticed that everybody with a Black Lives Matter sign in their business didn't get looted.
Well, that happened, before in a riot. People would always put black owned. Not Black Lives Matter wasn't a movement back then. It was a black owned or like.
I see minority owned as well, and I'm not encouraging like white people to lie and say they're a minority so they don't get looted.
No, but I definitely think there are white people who definitely lying saying Black Lives Matter on this shit. Who definitely don't believe Black Lives Matter.
It's a better way to
protect
your business.
It's always been about outthinking the Negro, okay? Since the beginning of time, we've outthought them, okay?
Well, it's been a crazy week, and if we had a bingo board, man, would there be a lot of things that possibly happen on them, particularly one of them being John Ros returns to the living room.
Was that on the board?
Whoa. It should have been, because John Ros has returned to the living room!
What's up, guys?
John Ros didn't even call it.
It's John Ros.
It's good to be back, guys. It's really good to see you guys.
How's it feel, John Ros?
It's unreal.
It's pretty real, man. We're here. We're here. This is happening. How you been, man? What you been up to?
Quarantining, fucking writing, lots of editing, just chilling, man.
Writing. I thought you said rioting.
Oh, no, writing. Yeah,
all right, John, fuck it.
Yeah.
Incriminate yourself on this show.
Actor,
did you do
producer, writer.
No, because my grandma's still living with me, so I'm just trying to, just for her sakes, I'm not trying to.
She didn't want you to get out for the people, John? No, real shit. I feel like a lot of grannies have been getting out there, too. Have been like, I'm getting out there for the people. She should have told you to get your ass out there. Sick. For the people, John.
I know.
For the people.
There are so many old people out there who like don't care about COVID at all. Though.
Why
they're like, I made it through World War II.
But
there's a lot of.
But fuck that. People are dying.
Yeah, 100%.
You gotta stand for something. Like if you go down dying because you stood for people, then at least you live with a purpose.
Right. Versus being like, I'm bored.
There are people in Las Vegas right now, no mask, partying up a storm at the casinos, everything else going around it. Those people, for me, I don't know them, but I feel as though that's not a real purpose. There's no purpose to be there. If I catch COVID, fighting for the freedom of my people, I'm fine with it, Christopher. I'm fine with it, John. You know?
Yeah.
So I'll be fine with it too.
I'll lose along for black people.
If I give my grandma COVID.
But die, goddamn.
Man, if I won a bunch of money in Vegas, it might be worth it. But if you lose your house and you get COVID, can you imagine?
Ooh.
There's some compulsive gambler who's like, finally, it's back open. And then walked in there and lost their house and got COVID in the same day.
Traffic was insane on the way there already. Like the day that it opened.
In Vegas?
Yes.
To Vegas. Yeah.
Vegas
I just saw that video of Las
Vegas.
Vegas.
Is crazy right now. Yeah.
Disgusting.
Yeah, disgusting. People
we just gave up.
Well, I don't know if people
all just gave up.
I don't know if people gave up as much as like I've been at protests. I've been at like 3, 4, and I feel like people in general, from what we know, from the research, from everything around, is that people supposedly COVID does not do well in the heat. And the fact that it's getting hotter and hotter outside, we've seen people at protests, and guess what you have not seen? You've seen a constant decline in COVID.
No, that
is true.
Not since Memorial Day weekend. We just had a spike go back up, but we wouldn't see.
We had a spike 3 weeks ago at 1,100, and it has not went up since then.
I'm interested in getting that fact checked.
Because
I just think we spiked, and people are saying it's because of the protests, and I'm like, it's not because of the protests, it's because of Memorial Day, because you don't see the effects until 2 weeks later.
It's still a coronavirus. It's still an influenza. It's still something that it thrives in the cold.
Yeah,
that's the reason you get it, is because the weather goes along with it.
I mean, there's not proof of that, but it's a theory for sure. I don't know what's gonna happen, but it is interesting. I do unfortunately see some people who feel like, well, I went to the protest and I risked it already, so I guess I'll just risk it every day now. And I'm kind of like, don't do that.
It's not about risking it every day. It's very confusing for people in general.
Sure.
Everything is open.
Yeah, I was at the weed shop the day after.
No, everything is. Restaurants are open. I walked into a restaurant and I said, grab some food for a pickup, and there were people. It wasn't any fucking. There are no rules. It's not like, oh, California's open under these rules. It's like literally right now, everything is open. There were people sitting up on top of each other at restaurants
I was
with
almost
no
offended.
mask on eating.
Did it blow your mind the first time you saw a restaurant
I
again?
just walked in and was like, all right, cool. Let me get my food and fucking walk away.
I was biking around. I saw an open bar, and I was just like, an open bar? It like blew my mind. I had never seen a bar before.
I was picking up K Barbecue because like I love all you can eat K Barbecue. They've been doing takeouts and stuff, and I was just like, whoa, this place is full. What is going on?
It was full.
Yeah.
I think I'm in a completely different mindset. You guys are now in this country. Like, I don't like going anywhere because I'm afraid.
Oh yeah, I mean,
I was
picking up food.
No. I'm afraid as a black man. Like,
Oh,
I feel like there's
right.
a target on our
Yeah.
back that we spoke up, and that people think automatically that every black person is Black Lives Matter, which I am. I definitely believe Black Lives Matter, but I think that there's a target on our back in general with police officers, with everything. So I don't like going anywhere. Like, so I saw police officers, I picked up my food, and I was afraid the whole time, looking like, oh shit, what if he followed me to my car? Oh shit, you asked me questions. Oh shit. And the dude, he was staring at me, but I was like, okay, he left me alone. But that's a constant thought in my head right now. It's like, oh, well, they hate the fact that we're using our voices. They hate the fact that we spoke up and that people are listening, and that there's probably a target on our back right now. So I think that I'm in a complete, like, I literally hate going places.
Man, that's a bummer that you feel
Yeah, we
that
live
way.
with it for long enough. It's fine. At least our voices are being heard. I'm just more being like, I feel like shit is like a little more hypersensitive. Like, oh, I see cops and I don't like, I feel like people are like, you're on one or the other side. You're on black people's side or cop side. And I don't know which cop is like, I'm on black people's side. So it's kind of like, oh shit, it's scary.
Get that.
Yeah, the cops have not had the greatest reaction to this.
No, not at all.
Yeah, it's so weird to me to see day after day an entire side, I guess, doubling down. We'll definitely go through a lot of instances of it on the show today, but it's crazy to me that people keep doubling down, whether it's the president or whether it's because I kind of thought an overwhelming majority of people would speak up. I kind of think you'd see his declining poll numbers, and I thought there might be a little bit of a pivot. It worries me that it's doubling down and that he's especially encouraging anti-racist protesters to show up. It just scares me when like MAGA rallies start happening again. It's just going to be like two groups of people rallying together despite coronavirus with a lot of anger, and I'm afraid of what's going to happen next.
That's fair. No, I don't think it surprises me that people double down. I feel like it's a culture. It's a brotherhood. It's something that this country was built on. I think also when if you want to make it a little more digestible, when you think about gangs in general, that's why people say don't snitch. Same thing the cops are living by right now. It's like, oh, we're not going to snitch on each other, so we're going to resign. Oh, I don't want to be in this shit if we can't be niggas. Come on, y'all. Rule number 1 of the rule book, the manual when you get here, is niggas get beat. And the fact that y'all are telling me I can't do that shit no more, it's bothering me. So I just think that it doesn't surprise me to see cops resigning, and it also doesn't bother me or surprise me to see other cops standing up saying you can work here. Because it's truly a fucking culture.
Well, you know who I keep thinking about? Maybe you can get his name for me. I keep thinking about the cop that went crazy a few years ago. Do you remember that? No. Quote unquote, I'm saying, went crazy. I mean, he did go. It wasn't the most sane response. But do you remember a few years ago in 2013, there was a cop named Christopher Dorner, right? And what happened was he was on a police call, and they saw him basically brutalize a disabled man, and he reported the police he was with for brutalizing that disabled man. And after being put in like line for a super long time, they brought his case up, and they said that he was lying and he got in trouble for it. And then he wrote this big manifesto and decided that he was going to take things into his own hands and start taking down LAPD officers, I believe, and their families, like one by one. And that is a insane reaction, but almost in context, it feels less insane. You know what I mean? Like it feels like a movie. Like he's like the lead of a movie in a corrupt system.
Right.
I don't know. I just keep thinking back to that guy and what his story was. I remember that, and then they pursued him, and they were super incompetent in their pursuit, and they like shot at a random car, and then they went to another place.
Holed up in like a
yeah.
I mean,
not that I think that guy's.
It feels movie-ish, like you said, but I don't know if I'm like again shocked by that either. Like, I just feel, I don't know, man. I feel like I'm happy that a lot of white people's eyes have been opened, and they've been like, "Whoa, what the fuck?" I've been hearing that like nonstop. What the? Whoa.
Yeah.
Didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also like, damn, that's crazy. Like that you truly, it took you guys wanting to know because you had all the access in the world to know, for us to make any kind of progress. And it's crazy that like even as crazy as it may seem, even and not that we don't need this and not that I'm against it. I love it. We need it. We are the people. But it's crazy that even in black progression still cannot be moved until white people move it for you. And that's just still crazy to me. It's like, oh, for us to truly progress, we still need white people to do it for us or we get nowhere.
Or do it with you. I don't know.
Yeah, okay, if we did it by ourselves, though. If we did it by ourselves, though, what? Nothing. We've done it. That's what I'm saying. You still have to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's taking the masses of white voices to come together and say, okay, we're speaking with you, and but at the same time, if we do that protest by ourselves as black people, we had the Million Man March. We've had stuff in the past. I'm not sure we get even here, and I know we're gonna go into like what has changed since the protests have happened, and even in this short period of time, because a lot has happened. But yeah, I just don't know if we even get there. And again, I am happy about it, that the people are being heard and that they're standing together. But I do think it's still like crazy that we need that. But we do need it.
Well, first and foremost, welcome to Wine and Weed, our weekly podcast show, where we talk about the week in news. I'm Chris Reinegert, a.k.a. the Connoisseur, a.k.a. the Goop in Your Gap, a.k.a. Speed Bump, a.k.a. Just Add Water, a.k.a. La La La, a.k.a.
Was that you?
No, that's you.
Okay.
Good.
Okay.
Maybe. You like it, love it, gotta have it.
All right, now you're just throwing stuff at the wall.
That's me.
He said that before.
He's
the Cold Stones.
I like it. Remember? Do you like that?
I remember. Do you like that?
Yeah. And then it was Like It, Love It, Gotta Have It, Cold Stone style.
Oh, I never heard that one.
And this is my co-host,
Sterling. I just go by Sterling now, or Brother X. I'm gonna leave it right there, y'all. Brother X,
aka Brother X.
Brother X, aka S to the B to your best of the breed, aka is our third leg, but it's just me, aka Black Mama, aka Concerned Father, aka Steezington, aka your stylist, aka
the Tie-Dye Twins.
Tie-Dye Twins, yeah. AKA Black Man just trying to make it. And with us as always, back in studio, bitches. John Ros.
What's good, guys? It's me, John Ros, a.k.a. Brown Peter Griffin, Spider-Man's best friend, a.k.a. the Article Assassin, Terry Khalifa, and the Nose That Knows, and of course, Big Sexy with the glasses.
Hey! He's back.
It's real.
He's back. New glasses?
No. Well,
Same
maybe.
sexy.
Yeah.
No. I enjoyed your different backgrounds.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
You're on a couch once.
Yeah.
You're in a garage.
Yeah. You know, I just try to change it up a bit.
Yeah. We had some sweet hats.
Yeah, you know.
It was nice
I love
to see
the
Thank you.
It's nice
Little
to
fits.
see you.
The ramen hat was crazy.
Oh,
bro.
yeah. Thank you.
I like
buddy.
That was a fit. That was a I was like, where'd he get that from? That was some thrift store shit, right?
Target.
Was it really?
Yeah.
I know he found that at like a fucking like a dope ass Rose Bowl flea market. Or
That's
something.
all I go to
wonder
now.
Where Rose Bowl?
No, the Target. I was like quarantine
No,
shopping.
you
I'm like,
gotta
I'm just gonna
fuck
look
with
at
the
clothes
Rose
here.
Bowl
Is
flea
that shit
market.
open?
Like he said, he's a
Oh, okay.
rioter. He looted that from Target.
Yeah, I believe that.
I told you that in
Oh, I mean,
confidence.
no. And welcome to the show. What a week it's been in America. But to start it off with something a little bit more positive, because last week was pretty depressing. The positive is that a little bit is being done. We are seeing some impact of these protests. So before we get into the doom and gloom of maybe the wrong ways that people are reacting to this protest, we thought it'd be good to get into the right ways and have John read all the things that are actually getting done in response to the protesting. So
Okay.
take it
You
away,
know,
John.
There are a lot, which is great to read. So I'm gonna start from 526, which is the murder of George Floyd, and then 528, the University of Minneapolis. It just says MINN, so I'm guessing Minneapolis. Cancels contract with police. 3rd Precinct Police Station neutralized by protesters on 528. So this is all on the same day. ATU Local 1005 refuses to bring police officers to the protest or transport arrested protesters. On 529, activists commandeer hotel to provide shelter to homeless. Officer Chauvin arrested. And this all in 529. Louisville mayor suspends no-knock warrants in response to police 312. Breonna Taylor killing and subsequent protests. 530, U.S. embassies across Africa condemn police murder of George Floyd. Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania. And then May 30, let's see. Minnesota AG Ellison takes over prosecution of the murdering officer. On the same day, TWU Local 100 bus operators refuses to transport arrested protesters. 2 abusive officers fired for pulling a couple out of car and tasing them. Then June 1st, Minneapolis public schools end contract with police. June 1st, Confederate monument removed in Birmingham, Alabama. California prosecutors launch campaign to stop DAs from accepting police union money. Tulsa Mayor Bynum agrees to not renew live PD contract. This is all June. Oh, there's so many things that happened on June 1st. Louisville police chief fired after shooting of David McAtee at a barbecue joint. Confederate statue ordered to be removed in Bentonville, I'm believing Arkansas. Democrats and Republicans begin push to shut down a Pentagon program that transfers military weaponry to local law enforcement departments. June 2nd, Minnesota AFL-CIO calls for the resignation of Bob Kroll, the president of the Minneapolis Police Union. Same day, ATU Local 85 announces refusal to transport police officers or arrested protesters. 6-2, racist ex-mayor Rizzo statue removed. 6-2, 6 abusive officers charged for violence against residents and protesters. Confederate soldier statue removed in Alexandria, Virginia. Robert Lee statue removed. Civil rights investigation of Minneapolis Police Department launched on June 2nd. June 2nd, resolution to prevent law enforcement from hiring officers with history of misconduct announced by San Fran DA Bowden and Supervisor Walton. June 2nd, survey indicting 64% of polled sympathetic to protest. Around 47% disapprove of police handling, plus 54% think burning down of precinct fully or partially justified.
Really?
June 2nd, New Jersey AG announces policing reforms. Minneapolis City Council members publicly call for disbanding the police and replace with community-oriented, nonviolent public safety and outreach capacity.
That's crazy.
June 3rd.
I mean, not crazy. That's good.
Yeah.
But that's
Crazy
a
good.
huge
Yeah.
fucking step.
June 3rd, one officer fired for tweets promoting violence against protesters. Jeez. June 3rd, Minneapolis Institute of Art, First Avenue Walker Art Center, and use of MPD for events. Officer Chauvin charges upgraded to second degree murder, and remaining 3 officers also charged and taken into custody. June 3rd, Virginia governor announced removal of Robert E. Lee statue. Same thing, Richmond, Virginia Mayor Stoney announced RPD reform measures, establishing Marcus alert for folks experiencing mental health crisis. Established independent citizen review board and ordinance to remove Confederate monuments and implement racial equity study. Same thing, June 3rd, county commissions deny proposal for $23 million expansion of Fulton County Jail. Minneapolis Parks and Recreation cut ties with the Minneapolis Police Department. U.S. Army tells soldiers to disobey any orders to attack peaceful protesters. Jeez. LA announces $100 to $150 million cut from LAPD budget, reinvested into communities, moratorium or gang database, sharper discipline against abusive cops in effect immediately. June 3rd, same thing. Seattle changes mind and withdraws request to end federal oversight / consent decree of police department. Now, June 4th, the Breonna Taylor case reopened.
Question
mark.
We don't really know still.
Oh, okay.
They say it has been, but we don't know.
Gotcha. Neither confirm or deny. Portland schools superintendent discontinues presence of armed police officers in schools. Metro Boston board orders that buses won't transport police to protest or protesters to police. King County Labor Federation issue ultimatum to police unions to admit to and address racism in Seattle Police Department or be removed. And that is everything that's happened so far. I'm sure more things have happened.
And that was posted 4 days ago.
Yeah.
So definitely there's a lot more that's happened.
I do see what's coming up over and over again, just to tie into your idea last week about how everything's a business. It's interesting how significant these things of a bus company telling you, we won't bring the protesters.
They're contracts. Mm-hmm. Everyone has contracts with each other.
Right?
So if you tell them we're not renewing these contracts or we're not doing business
Public schools.
with you, public schools for example, them telling Minneapolis we're not going to use the police department anymore.
Mm-hmm.
My business partner Mike went on in L.A. and he spoke and he said he was going to make sure that the police were not used for his projects anymore, that he was hiring private security.
Yeah.
If people around don't realize that when you also start looking at the actual numbers of where the dollars are allocated to, you realize it's always like 70 to 80% toward police. And everything else in your whole world you live in your city is covered from everything else. And then you realize, whoa, we're cutting this check for $750 million for the LAPD, and the rest of the rest of the city is they're living off $250 million. I'm just giving an example.
And then you look at the education budget,
you're like,
and it's like barely visible on the bar chart.
And has been getting defunded for years. They take more and more money each year from education. So, and people are thinking that this idea of like defunding the police is so radical. And you're crazy. You can't do that. And then you start to look at what is being done, and you're like, whoa, we can do that. And not only can we should. Yeah. There is no reason we should be putting this much money. I'm not someone that's going to say, I think that the police in general the whole thing just needs to get fucking revamped.
We're giving them too many jobs.
Yeah, but
they have too many jobs.
Too many jobs.
It's not fair for them.
And it should be harder to get this job as well. It should be a job that you have to be actually qualified for. The same people are arguing and saying, the same for a lawyer, for a doctor, that's something you have to actually study for. We're just giving guns to individuals. We're literally just giving individuals authority.
Yeah.
Individuals who probably don't need this authority, who don't know how to handle this authority, and maybe who their psyches are not prepared for this authority.
And at any moment, they might be getting someone for running a traffic line, or they might be trying to help a homeless person, or they might be, responding to an old lady or a mentally ill person, or like they have too many jobs. So I just think that you can rethink how we do this. Mm-hmm. And I think there's a lot of people out there that are like conservatives who are like, I'm not about government, but then weirdly we're giving all this money to the police. So let's rethink that money. If you're like a business conservative, let's not give money to government. Why are you giving so much money to the cops?
And then, of course, a lot of people who are arguing for this through the DNA of this country are white supremacists who literally are within this is a profession that literally has been for them.
Wait, what are arguing for?
I'm saying police officers who
are arguing on the side of
police to keep them there.
Yeah,
it's like this is literally like, hey, white supremacists who can't really read or do other stuff, guess what? You can be a cop.
In fact, actually, a few of your friends are already in
They're
there.
already cops.
They can help you out.
We can't read either. Join us.
Look, Bruce is in it. You don't need to be that smart. Bruce is a cop. You're
I'm a cop.
smarter than Bruce.
Dan, I'm a cop.
Come on, Dan.
Dan,
You'd be pretty
Dan,
good.
it's me.
You're a good shot.
I was shit at everything. I'm a cop.
He barely got his GED. They don't care.
Actually, correction. I didn't get my
He
GED.
didn't get his GED. They don't care. It's true that there are some cops that you see where you're like, how did you get here? Also, the videos of all these have definitely made me realize how many fat cops there are. I don't mean to body shame the fat cops, but
But you shouldn't have to be in shape to be a
But
cop.
like you there's a lot of like what are you doing with yourself? If you're an accountant, that's fine. Even if you're a model, that's fine. But I don't know. You got to be chasing down criminals theoretically, right? So like, how?
It's just physics.
What's your plan?
He's not trying to bash anyone. He's speaking physics. I think that you have to be in somewhat shape. It's like saying, hey, dude, will there be a 600-pound basketball player one day? Maybe, and it might be a fucking incredible story. Documentary after documentary on this guy. Also, I don't know. I don't think that's going to happen because some occupations you may need to be in shape. That's just a fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
But there was a dude named Oliver Miller who played in the NBA. He was 400 pounds and he was fucking
Is that true?
good. Yeah,
That's
he was
Wow.
fucking good.
I do to be critical of the movement. Just
They remember me.
name.
I just imagine Oliver Miller being at home being like, they remember me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I see him in a little home because Anyway, defund the police. The phrase is a little. I kind of feel like they're trying to play the build the wall game, where they're like, this will be easy to chant because like demilitarize the police doesn't really have a vibe, or like reduce funding for the police, or like that doesn't have a vibe, or like okay, so they're like defund the police, which immediately makes people on the other side be like, well, what are you gonna do when there's a murder, bud?
Of course.
Like,
I do think that I agree.
What do you think? You're a branding
I agree
person.
with you.
What do you think about
I found
the branding of defund the police?
There's a connection here. I don't think I'm just
Okay.
going away from this. Did you see the Minneapolis mayor went in front of the people? And first of all, not him doing the Cupid shuffle. Did you see him do that?
I saw the Cupid shuffle. I didn't like it at all.
It was so bad. Some girl about to tell about my whole girl said, that's how I be looking while with my heels all night. And I'm trying to Cupid shuffle. She was the way he was tiptoeing and dancing. He's such a bad dancer.
Oh, I just saw the National Guard people doing the.
Oh, you didn't see him do the Cupid shuffle.
No.
Oh, you've missed out. You have to check out the video. It is hilarious.
He's no blackface moonwalking senator.
Not at all.
That was a callback to a deep cut joke.
It was a good joke.
When
too.
when a blackface, when a senator dressed up in blackface because he had a moonwalk.
Yeah.
And we said, what if the moonwalk
Walk was amazing. What do? Do you focus on the blackface or do you focus on the moonwalk?
It had to have been a good moonwalk. He wouldn't have risked that whole thing.
But no, he went out there with the people, and I fuck with him. Number one, the mayor of Minneapolis has been amazing. Like he really has. He's been a great voice. He has been someone that the first day he caught footage of the George Floyd video, he went out and made press conference and said he did not stand with the police. He felt like these people need to be brought to justice. He has been on the right side. So I want to start with that. His dancing, not so much, but he has been on the right side. So I think he was trying to do the right thing. I fuck with him again. That man don't be having no security with him. If he was from the hood, I would say he was a real nigga. He'll pull up on you by himself. So he pulled up at the protest dolo by himself with no security, no nothing. The people are talking. Number one, he looks 12. First of all, he looks so young to be a mayor. Like you don't.
I thought so. He looks like like this is an elective in high school.
His shirt looks like it's too like his dad's collar on his neck because it's just too big. Because he looks like a fucking child. But he's out there with the people, and he asked them. They put him on the spot. They asked him one question. They said, "Hey, will you defund the police? Will you commit as mayor right now to defunding the police?" And he started just asking too many questions back. And I was like, he about to fuck up. Like, there's about to be a fuck up right here. I'm watching it happen. And he was like, well, do you mean abolish? Are you asking me to abolish the police department? And I'm like, no, they're not asking you to abolish. They're saying defund the police, like take some money away from them. They're not asking you to abolish.
Defund sounds like absolute, right?
But I think also he's really smart. And I think that he on purpose used the word abolish. Mm-hmm. I don't think that he thought they were saying abolish. I think he was like, okay, I'll go on record saying I'm not going to try to get rid of the police. I'm fine with that. So let me ask her back, are you saying abolish? And she was like, defund the police. And he was like, are you saying abolish? And she was like, I'm saying defund the police. And he was like, if you're saying abolish, I can't commit to abolishing the police department. And I was like, he knows he didn't answer the fucking question. He knows that he went around it.
I think it's actually a pretty smooth political move. Because
I didn't say it wasn't a political.
Yeah, I said days later they are defunding the police, it wasn't a dodge. You know,
no, this was just They have not committed. The schools have, and different other people have, but the mayor and them have not committed yet.
The city council has said this was huge yesterday.
So Minneapolis to disband police department. The top line is the Minneapolis City Council on Sunday voted to disband its police department and invest in community-based public safety programs following calls from activists to defund the police. In the wake of George Floyd's death at the hand of Minneapolis police officer.
I love it. I
fucking
love
Isn't
it.
that crazy?
It's crazy. It's like,
They did it.
Are motherfuckers gonna just move to Minneapolis now? Like, fuck it, let's go somewhere we know we safe. It's gonna become black as hell. Minneapolis about to get all the black people. Shit. LeBron James traded to the Timberwolves.
Definitely interested in a what do you think happens next conversation with this, but let's hear all the details too.
All right, key facts. City Council President Lisa Bender, along with a majority of council members that cannot be vetoed by Mayor Jacob Fry, announced a plan to end our city's toxic relationship with the Minneapolis Police Department.
He can't be vetoed, so it doesn't matter.
No, he said they
You're right.
can't
He's
be
not on the
vetoed.
city council.
He can't veto them.
Yeah, he's not on the.
I said so. He didn't ever agree.
Could have saw it coming though. But
No,
yeah.
I didn't say he didn't see it coming. I said, but
with the mayor?
He didn't agree. He let them know I'm still with you. The police department.
The mayor announced the plan to end our city's toxic relationship. So I don't know.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, he's the one that announced the plan.
He announced it.
Yeah, so I don't know if he's the one that came up with it, though.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like, we're here because we hear you. We are here today because George Floyd was killed by the Minneapolis police, Bender declared. In Minneapolis and in cities across the United States, it is clear that our existing system of policing and public safety is not keeping our communities safe. Our efforts are incremental and at incremental reform have failed, period, she added. Bender said that the council would start a conversation with the community about what the new community-led public safety program will entail. The police department had already lost much of its support from the community, which key partners including Minneapolis Public Schools and the University of Minnesota and Minneapolis Parks and Recreation serving ties.
This is scary, though. I'm going to tell you why. I'm sorry. I don't want to cut you off.
No, it's okay.
It's scary because, like, when does this go into effect?
Right. Let's see.
Because if it's like in 2 years, the police might just cause hell for 2 years. And just fuck everything up for 2 years.
I haven't really went into the details, to be perfectly honest.
This specific article does not have
that could be scary. That could be scary if they're like, oh, this goes into effect in 3 years. You'd be like, oh, fuck.
To disband, we are intent on disbanding the police. And I mean, I'm not mad at them for not having a complete plan right now. That's okay. But that's a pretty bold announcement, and I think it's a great move.
Yeah, so they're basically just saying that they'll have like precincts of like but private companies, or that they'll like have a small group of people who protect a certain neighborhood, right? Or for each.
It's saying community, like it sounds like a neighborhood watch
That's what I'm
almost,
saying.
you know?
That's what I'm saying. But like it'll be community groups.
Yeah.
So they'll be like, okay, this is your group. They'll still have pay for those groups. 100%.
I'm sure, yeah.
So it'll be like,
they'll have to create a new idea of a department.
It'll probably be harder to get those jobs too.
Right, or you'll have to be more specialized. You won't
Yeah.
have to be an expert in 10,000 things. You'll just be a guy who's good at racial profiling.
I'm really good at this.
That's what I'm great at. That's why I became a cop.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. No, you'll pick a guy who's like great at one,
Some tech shit. And like, I'm just good at
yeah.
fucking.
Oh, I didn't even think about it like that.
Yeah, I'm just good at tech. I'm just good at fucking forensics, DNA forensics.
A tech revival board.
Yeah,
right?
like you have one person for each neighborhood.
I'm good at mental health de-escalation. You know, I'm good. You know, like you're gonna get pulled into situations like that. It's not just gonna be, oh, cool, we have a wellness check. Who wants to go?
But then do you think,
Bruce is going for the wellness check.
do you think neighborhoods will be known for like having good police department, like a good police department versus a bad one? Like, oh, you live over there, they be dropping the ball. Niggas be getting away with murder over there. Shit. And be like, oh, you live over there? Oh, Beverly Hills, they got the best fucking police department. The Rock, I heard, is a policeman.
Chief commissioner.
The Rock is the commissioner.
It's also it's also like a part of it, the way you describe a place too.
It's the real Avengers. The real Avengers are the police in Beverly Hills. Oh shit.
Oh man, it really is interesting to bring the economics of policing in, and I can't even, like, a lot of me feels like I can't begin to wrap my brain around it. Mm-hmm. But I hope that there's some people out there with some great ideas about how we could.
I'm here, Chris. If you're asking me, I'm here.
How do you think we restructure the police? I have a couple ideas. I mean, I'll go with it.
I don't know if I go with it right now, but I do think if I really sat down, I could really go through some shit and be like, this is how we protect our people for real.
How?
Segregation
Where
is
do you?
key. Let's start with that.
Oh no, Terry Crews was right.
Segregation is key. First things first. No, I don't know, man. I have to like really dive into it.
Okay, so I was brainstorming with one of my friends.
Okay.
And there was an idea of what if all the policemen also almost had a group of people that followed them around, that were essentially their backup, but they were only meant to make sure that everything was going by system. So it's like you have the police and then you have the guardians of the police. But I was not sure if that was just like adding another job. Yeah. And like who's going to get those jobs? It's going to be the same people that were on the police, and then you're going to have police all over again. So I don't know. How do you bring those new people in and get people to specialize in different things?
Well, first of all, you made up this job. And now you're
the
asking
Guardians?
me. Yeah, the Guardians. And now you're asking me, how do we get the budget large enough for the Guardians? And
well,
I'm
just already starting to break down. I'm starting at Guardians just because where do we start? Let's start somewhere. What do you do?
How do we make sure the Guardians are getting paid? I'm like, I don't think we need the Guardians, Chris.
I love the idea of investing in tech. I think it's cool that
TikTok.
Yeah.
We'll start a Guardians TikTok.
Yeah.
First of all, we need more. Oh, maybe we can now do the streaming body cams thing. Maybe now's our time.
Wow, on Twitch? Ooh.
Yeah, we were saying that there should be a place where you can stream body cams any time you want.
Like a chat roulette.
Yeah.
So like you're clicking through and you're just like, oh, this one's in Arizona. This one's in Minneapolis. This one's in fucking Florida. And then one of them you might feel like, oh, this one's actually interesting. So you watch it a little bit. And you're like, oh, shit, this one. Oh, he turned off his body cam. I'm going to report this motherfucker.
Or he's beating somebody.
Yeah, he killed that black guy. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah, right.
That was the police officers do. I don't know. Yeah, so you might. I just think it'd be a cool idea.
That is a great idea.
Would you watch that?
Absolutely.
It would make money. It would keep them accountable.
Yeah. Oh my
Maybe
God.
we just do it with a licensing deal with cops. And cops need
you want
to be
pull
revamped.
cops into this?
Cops needs to be revamped.
Yeah, oh my God.
It's a great brand.
Yeah.
We tell cops we're gonna revamp you. Cops, don't steal this, or Chris just edit this out. But but we end up doing a deal with cops, and we say we'll show you how you can have people always watching cops, unfucking censored, no editors needed. They're just always in tune with cops, and it's just chat roulette.
Our biggest problem with that idea is that we would never get the cops to agree to it. But if they're reforming all police departments,
You have to agree to it.
Yeah.
and there's going to be so many cops, the Beverly Hills Avengers cops, who are going to be like, I'd love to be a Twitch star /
Yeah.
cop.
Yeah.
That's why I'm doing cops. I just
Yeah.
want
Can we
to
just
be on
hire a
TV
camera
once.
team? Like,
Yeah. I can see that too. I can see a dude thinking he was like really cool and he's like famous.
So many cops.
You know what time it is.
Like and
Why does he say
subscribe.
that before he always pulls his gun out? And why is he pulling his gun out so much? You know what time it is.
I'm sorry,
It's a horrible
Captain.
catchphrase.
Captain, I already said you know what time it is. I had to pull out my weapon. There could have been. I was streaming live to 500
yeah.
people on Twitch.
You just need good Wi-Fi with everyone. That's all.
That's where you get the tech part.
Yeah,
the tech part, yeah. Good Wi-Fi as needed.
Yeah.
I do love the idea of investing in tech, but I'm afraid they're going to be like, tech, yeah, sure. Let's invest in tech. Let's invest in, I don't know, cameras and facial recognition. That sounds like tech, right? yeah, let's invest in that. Let's just follow everybody at every moment, whatever they're doing. That sounds like tech, right? And
What are
then
you
we'll be
doing,
like, what have I
Chris?
done?
What are you doing?
I'm poking holes.
No, I'm just asking you, what are you doing, though?
He's like
what are
being
you
the tech
doing
guy.
that you're so fucking worried about them watching you so much?
Oh.
I don't like
What
the
are you
idea-
doing out here,
well,
man?
Nothing yet until...
Yet. Whoa.
Well, I'm not doing anything wrong, but then Donald Trump
Why are you putting that
assumes
with it?
all power and says that anything against him is wrong. You know? I mean, it's not like that's not crazy anymore. The thing is, when Donald Trump was elected, we're like, well, he's doing kind of fascist things. Like, the things he does are kind of fascist. And people were like, yeah, but they fascist in USA as the president, it's not going to happen. And you're like, yeah, but also, like, I think he's directly racist. And they're like, well, he's just racist in the way that America's racist. Not like super racist, but like now it's like you can't deny that he's like a fascist and a racist. Like, you can't, there's just so many. It's just like, all right, well, now he said it out loud.
Yeah,
And there's
what
so
are
many
people
people-
saying? I don't talk to people, I guess, that talk to me about that.
No? Oh, yeah, because you just already assume that everybody's not on that side.
I also think that people are just, I don't know, people just want to openly talk to black people right now about like,
Oh, white people are talking.
yeah, they're talking if they're on your side.
No, I've gotten a lot of white people who are not on my side talking.
You're
about it.
white, Chris.
I know I'm saying white people are talking.
To white people.
Yeah, not to black
Yeah,
people.
that's what I said. I said I don't think they want to talk to black people. That's why I'm
No,
not hearing
I-
these conversations.
There's a whole conversation happening, and there are some people who get it and some people who don't. And I was talking to
Let's
one.
get into it. What y'all talking about, man?
I was talking to. I have a DM conversation with one of my friends, and he was not getting it. And then he like had a.
Getting what?
He like he made it about him. That's what people. That's
But
what
Black
white people
Lives
do.
Matter. He was like, he does not get Black Lives Matter.
He.
I just think that's
okay.
funny.
They're definitely quick to bring up the riots. They're saying people shouldn't be violent. People shouldn't be burning things. And I have so many responses to that in my mind of like versus like, well, let's take hold the police accountable, or let's historically look at things, you know, we talk that do get done. But that's a quick thing
And
to
what is the
get brought up.
response to that though?
Well, bringing up the larger conversation of like why it's a boiling point and why people are mad, or if the sad point is that violence does create change. Those are big conversations to have with people that are hard to convince people.
Yeah. So it's not easy. It's like a really hard conversation.
It's a commitment of a conversation. You only get so many people that you can go like, all right, let's fucking dive into this. And I picked one of my friends from college.
That's crazy that you have that many people that you could say you only get to pick. No. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not saying. I'm more saying like that's really crazy. Like,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
look,
But
my
you're like,
Facebook is
I
like
get-
some people are
Like,
like,
I know a lot of people, and I can only pick a select few that can actually handle the conversation. I'm like, damn, it's really that many people that you like. I gotta convince them that Black Lives Matter.
yes.
Cool.
I think so. I think people are at different levels. I think people are. I think there's a level of person. One of my friends texted me in the middle of the week and was like, "Dude, I just like got it, and I don't know how to explain it." I saw somebody carrying a protest sign. It's kind of saying the same thing that he was in the text. He was like, "I think I was making it about me, And I just got that, like, I don't know what the fuck he watched or what turned around for him, but he was like, I just got like that. It wasn't about me. And kind of like, I'm rethinking everything I was saying the other night. And I was like, I was actually like, this is awesome that people, like, I don't think he was covering saving face. I think he had a moment with himself where he got something. No, I think that's really cool.
I've had a lot of white people who I'm really close with or cool with it. Like, I consider to be allies or woke who have still been hitting me, and I can still tell they've had moments, like turning points. And I consider them woke already. I consider them somebody that was that could agree Black Lives Matter, but still they're still having moments of being like, this is really making like things that I just didn't know, and the ignorance of like, you know, ignorance is bliss, and like just being able to like live your life like la 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 la, being funny but being serious. And like I had one of my close friends hit me and was like, hey man, I just watched 13th on Netflix. This should be required in every school. This is something that everyone should watch. And why would people not have seen this to know exactly what the government has done to Black people?
I think,
and I was like, I don't know. I saw it the first day it came out, and I thought it was a thing that people just were watching. But then when he said it, I was like, I think it was a thing that Black people were watching. Fuck. Sometimes I live in my little bubble too, where I'm not thinking that white people aren't watching this. I'm thinking like they're seeing this too. And then when you say something like that, I'm like, whoa, you didn't see that. I assumed you just didn't care. You didn't even see it? What the fuck? How are you not seeing this?
Yeah, I think I think because I'm friends with you that there's, and not just you, but like a number of close Black friends, like,
all right, just you.
But also you are willing to have pretty radical in your face conversations, and I feel like I have been kind of like, I'm more comfortable talking about this stuff than I may have been at the beginning. Yeah. And I think a lot of people are still at the beginning. Yeah. So it's so uncomfortable talking about it. Yeah. Because like in school you learn like racism happened and then Lincoln ended it. Or slavery happened, then Lincoln ended it. Then racism happened, then Martin Luther King ended it. Somebody had a tweet recently. It was like, and the last racist killed him. And it was like, the end. And I was like, that's so true, and it's so hard to like recrack in.
That is crazy.
And I'm not surprised that your friends that you considered already like with it like had revelations in a way, because I think even like last week when I was like, what the fuck, is there a murder hornet in here right now?
Wait, what? Oh,
that is a big bug.
Let's leave it right there.
You caught it?
We caught a murder hornet under the wine. And it might be there. Actually,
you know, I was gonna say, you know what is interesting is that like also our curriculum is so different, and you know our educational systems are so different within our communities that of course we're taught about our history within our communities. You know what I'm saying? I went to all Black school until high school, so I learned everything within Black literature and Black culture and Black this. So I knew the struggle of my ancestors. I knew what we went through. I knew all the bullshit that this country had put us through. And I think that I assumed as a kid that you guys are reading the same thing in your community at the grade that I was reading it. And I was like, oh, we're reading the same stuff. So they know, they just don't give a fuck. And it makes you kind of have somewhat of like resentment to certain, white people until you kind of get to know them and talk to them and shit. And you feel like, fuck yeah, y'all don't give a fuck about nothing. And then when you get into like something like this and the riots and truly using your voice and touching people and having conversations, you realize, whoa, they're really protecting you guys from this world as well.
Yeah, it's like sad.
They're protecting you guys from this world. Like, we don't want to tell you the truth about Grandpa. Grandpa was a racist.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't want to, honey.
Because it's also like
they found the swastika downstairs. They asked me what it was. I said arts and crafts. I don't know.
Yeah, and I might be able to tie this together, but I think that there's something that I think it's because Grandpa was racist, but also if you want to make yourself not feel as bad about it, Grandpa was a victim of racist systems that were like set up and he played into them. You know what I mean? Like if you don't want to hate on your grandpa, just realize that these racist systems exist. And so I think resetting it is a good idea. So then I think there's one degree below that of like of the racist system of like this mindset of not wanting to acknowledge that it's even happening. Mm-hmm. And I think that is another level that I'm seeing because I haven't friended anybody on Facebook in like 10 years. So my Facebook is all my small town people I knew in my small town. Mm-hmm. So I get to basically just live in a small white town on Facebook and see what people are talking about.
And it is wonderful.
It's interesting. I think I don't think anybody thinks my small hometown is racist. I don't think people would say we grew up in a racist place at all. And we've had these rallies where hundreds of people are marching. But I don't know. I included an article. Do you want to hear about small town America's unspoken racism or not?
Yeah, let's talk about
Can I do a TED Talk?
How long is this TED Talk?
I don't want to do a TED Talk for a long time, but this has been on my mind all day, if I'm going to be honest.
All right.
Because maybe this is another level of, are you just going to be on your phone while I do it?
I'm literally looking at notes, bro.
I'm literally just thinking about cutting it together and me being like, so here's what I think.
What is it?
And you looking like you're on your phone.
What is it?
Zooming in.
Okay.
Should we close this door? Bugs are getting in here.
For me, because sometimes it's like white America's racist, and for me this gives a microcosm because this is where I grew up, and I don't find it to be a racist place, and I think most people who live there don't think it's a racist place, and then racist things happen during these protests.
So do you think it's racist, or you do not think it's racist?
I do think it's racist,
mm-hmm.
and I think the article's point of view is this. The way that it reads to me is these men did something that were racist. So we talked to them and they told us, hey, they're not racist.
So, okay.
And then they go, and they said they're not racist. They're just helping the police. We also interviewed the police. They said they don't want the men to help them. And I'm like, well, then that means that these men are doing a racist act by guarding their stores with guns. In another small town in my county, somebody showed up as an anti-protester with the motorcycle gang and had a whip and was cracking it. And in the article, it goes, well, we asked the head of the motorcycle group about that, and he said that, well, that guy always has a whip. And I was like, it doesn't even matter if that guy's a freak and always has a whip. You think he's that stupid that he didn't know exactly what he was doing that in the middle of an anti-racist rally?
But even if he always has a whip, it means he's just always been racist.
Or the magician
Lion
type guy
tamer.
who whip. Yeah, there's like magician types who like whips.
No. Chris, no. Is that bug dead or asleep?
Oh, he gave up.
Is he dead?
Nah, he just doesn't know what's going on.
Either way, he's a weirdo.
Chris almost killed me. Totally. Either way it goes.
I was still thinking about the whip guy.
The bug
and
shoulder.
I didn't even pay attention.
Didn't even know.
There's a murder hornet just chilling in our
Yeah, chill, gave up.
under our wine. By the way, we're drinking Justin.
Oh, Justin again? Oh, boy.
He's still
smoking.
moving. I wanted some more wine, but he's moving now. He was still, and then you did that
You wanna-
sloppy shit, and you hit him and woke
You
him
woke
up.
him up.
He
We
was
can
fucking
cover him with the
asleep.
weed cap.
No, but
All right, that feels like it's gonna kill him. At least he gets a view here.
It's like a
fucking
fishbowl.
wine bottle. Yeah, this one's not. You know what? Fuck it.
Just for a second, and then you can put it back if you want.
Oh, dang. Oh, dang. Indiana Jones.
Okay, yeah.
I don't think we're going to get any
Yep.
of this on camera.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, wow. Didn't even try.
Boom.
Like that
No
bug
big
gave
deal.
up.
Murder hornet harness. I want to look at him again, but I know that'll be the moment.
Yeah.
He's kind of scary. He's kind of ugly. Shit.
It got me thinking about the inability to recognize when, like, to justify something that's racism, because there are so many ways that person in my hometown could have made sure that their business was safe
Yes.
without standing on top of it, with an AK-47 and an American flag during an anti-racism protest.
Yeah, no.
Like so you're not protecting your business.
And I love that right now the American flag feels like so fucking racist. Is what
For real.
I'm just
That
saying,
is-
like,
I
if
don't like
people
that.
fly the American flag right now, you feel like they're racist, and that's just
Yeah.
a fact. You
Yeah.
look at them and you're like, oh, you're fucking racist. Like, you know what that means right now. And yeah, I know you don't like it. I guess I don't like it either. But also, it's just been a tipping point. I think people are like, let's just. I joked and said I was gonna tell a joke that said, America, have we tried unplugging it and then plugging it back in again?
That's funny.
Pretty good.
It's just like, we need to fucking reset. I'm sorry. I hate to break it to people, but everything was just done. I don't want to say wrong. It had conceptually, it made sense somewhat, but it just wasn't done by the right people with the right motives. And that's something that's hard for people to swallow. Is to be like, fuck, we have to re-examine everything. It's like, we didn't say we have to do everything over and nothing was right. We said we have to re-examine everything.
Yeah. And part of that counts in recognizing that maybe your community has racism built into it, and like have racists that will show up to a protest. And I'm not saying that was a lot of people. It's not like half of my town. It was like 6 people, right? It was like 10 people. It was like 20 people. No, I don't know. I can't.
How many of us wasn't thinking that?
But
Like half the town.
no, but you have to recognize that it's going on in your community. And I was disappointed by the way that the article is told, and we don't need to read the article, but it's a Telegram Tribune, and I'll call you out Telegram Tribune because I'm a longtime reader. I felt like they were looking at the situation. They were trying to do it judgment-free, but you need to point out that we're bringing a whip to an anti-racist thing. Don't get their opinion on it. Call it out for what it is.
I can't
That's
snap
a racist
or whistle.
act.
The whip gets people listening. It does. I'm not gonna lie, guys. It gets their attention.
You want to hear something hilarious?
It's not hilarious. Go.
You might think it's hilarious. I talked to my mom about this, and she went, "Look, if I'm going to be totally," she agreed with me that it was horrendous, and then was like, "And I'm going to be totally honest. I was at a festival a few years ago, and there was some guy cracking a whip." In the middle of the night, and I'm gonna be honest, I had to tell the authorities that this man there are children here and families here, and the whip is intimidating. So outside of that guy's an asshole and a weird for having the whip.
That's true.
In addition to it being a slave item,
Yeah.
it's super inappropriate. I just thought it was funny that it's such a small town that my mom has already had an interaction with the whip guy.
Yeah. Oh, it's like that mother.
You think it's the same person?
I don't know, but I thought it was
my
funny
God.
that she's like, if it's, I think it is.
Probably.
I think she's like, if it's the whip guy that I'm thinking about, fuck that guy.
It says, I love his license.
I don't know
plate
if I'll
says
be
whip
able to
guy.
edit it in, but I just think it was really funny that.
Well,
Whip
yeah.
guy. His license plate says
It's-
whip guy.
Exactly the right amount of numbers.
Whip
yeah.
guy.
It is.
Yes, whip guy.
hilarious.
My license plate. I want you guys to think I'm racist. I'm known as I sell whips.
Yeah. This is my.
I was here to advertise our newest whip.
The
We're not
Black
doing-
Lives Matter.
We're not doing well at all. We're not doing well at all. I'm not gonna lie. It's a passion project at this point. I don't know. I love that little TikTok, or it wasn't a TikTok. It was a video of that girl that went viral of her straightening her fucking parents out. Her dad that was like, "I work in the ghetto, and these people." And she was like, "No, Dad, no." And she was so fucking smart, and she just was destroying them. And part of me was like, you know what? She's going to get a black boyfriend just to really stick it to them. And I love it. And I fucking love it for her. But she was just dope. I don't know. Did you see that video?
No, I don't know what
Really?
you're talking about.
It's like, oh, I posted it.
I don't want to talk.
Come on, guys. Come on. You do?
Do you know how many?
All right,
no,
guys.
Shut up.
No.
Can you shut your mouth for a minute?
No.
Oh, jeez.
Because I actually work in the ghetto. I see the people.
Do you know why they're in that
physically go and I
position?
see these people.
Do you understand the systematic
They
and
get all
historical
kinds
reason
of
for why they're in
chances
that
and
position?
They don't care. All they want to do is be ghetto.
No.
Yes, there's
No.
some that don't, and there's good people. and then
No.
there's- Most of them just want to suck off the system or do something bad like drugs or gangs. And that's all they
They
care
have
about.
been oppressed. They have
It
not been
doesn't
given
matter.
the
They
same
get the
opportunities
chances.
you have
Yes,
had.
they do, and there's plenty of black people.
No, they
There's
don't,
plenty
Dad.
there's plenty of
And you not
minorities.
recognizing that as an issue is the reason why it's still continuing today.
I see them all over. There's all kinds of successful people that are of color. It doesn't matter what color, brown, white.
But it's a lot
orange,
harder for
yellow.
them to get to that
It doesn't
position.
matter.
Great
When
at
they
using
do,
the
they're
textbook
fine.
arguments.
But there's always filthy animals. And that
You're
means-
calling people of color black
No.
animals. You're calling them animals.
I'm talking- you didn't
Are
let me
you
finish.
kidding me?
You didn't let me finish.
That's not
I'm
okay.
talking about the
No,
show.
no matter what, that's not okay. No matter what, it's not okay.
I'm not
fact that she's
saying
recording this
I'm
whole
not
thing, too, though.
saying it's
They're tired
right.
of being treated
I'm
that
not
way.
saying it's right.
Hey, you said you didn't
I would
know
be
the
proud
white
of the
arguments
kids.
where this is
Yeah.
them.
Oh no, I know.
You
and,
know,
and it
like-
got famous, I guess, on Black Instagram,
Shit makes me
Black
laugh,
Twitter, but
mad, man.
it was just like crazy because it's like, of course, this is what. And people ask me all the time. They'll write me on Instagram or Twitter and say, "How can I help?" And I say, "Look, man, as much as it's probably hard for you to really like again swallow it, like to hear, start right within your home. Start right within like what's going on around you. Talk to those people. Get those people to believe and understand what is going on, why this must change, and what the oppression of America in this land for Black people." And I'm like, and from there, that's the greatest form of promotion is still word of mouth. Talk to people around you, and guess what? Those voices will be heard more and more and more. So when people ask me, I'm like, yo, that's the best way to do it. So watching a video like that, it doesn't surprise me because it's like, yo, it happens within your own home. And that's tough for my friends or whoever to like really admit because they're like, my uncle isn't racist, but then they name you 7 things as racist their uncle does, and it's like, your uncle is racist. I'm sorry. But you can help him. You can try to talk to him, but your uncle is racist. Don't lie for your uncle. That's part of the problem.
Do you want to do another
Nah.
article? Or?
Yeah, we can do another article. Yeah. Lab rats believe all lives matter.
Here's why.
We did a study.
The Terry Crews rat said.
This is a steroided rat that pop locks for no reason.
Okay. The PETA fought in federal court to prove that this monkey owns the copyright to his selfie.
I don't know about that one either.
Yeah. Those are the ones that are thumbs
Did the
up.
monkey show up in court?
Yeah, I don't know.
No, I say what else? Those
That
are the only
is
two?
like the epitome of the dumbest article I can possibly think
Yeah.
of. It's like an animal owns his own
Surprised, iconic.
selfie.
Actually,
It's
forgot
I
that.
used to always think to myself as a kid, don't act like I'm the only person. And if y'all try to act like it, I'm going to get mad. This is lighthearted. This is fun. Then when I was a kid, I used to think like when I would see dogs or famous dogs in movies or monkeys or like, how are they being paid or compensated? Like, is that monkey,
Oh, yeah.
is that monkey living large or is just his like mom or dad living large?
Well,
like-
monkey.
I'm just saying, like,
Look,
I
we're
would-
both talking about Duncan's Day In, right?
Duncan's Day In. Let's get into it. Ed, Duncan's Day In. We talking about Lassie. We talking about Airbud. Like,
Okay.
who was paid out for that? Was it like, yo, we gonna give you guys, the parents, $10,000, but hear us out. Airbud, we're gonna give him a brand new dog house. Fucking a fucking lifetime supply of bones. Like what did they give him? Like, did he get to live the life, or was it just the people who own the dog?
Just a treat at the end of every take.
That sucks.
Airbud was famously addicted to cocaine.
That is
Yeah.
true. That's a known fact.
He got over it, though. What a triumphant return.
Yeah,
he did.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
really got rehab. Celebrity rehab that season. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Intense.
White dogs always get a second chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sad.
Yeah.
I can't think of a black dog.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
No black dogs.
Are all dogs
Representation.
blonde?
Representation. Ain't no Rottweilers on camera.
Wow. They're depicted as villains.
Villains.
Mhm.
Vicious.
Yeah.
The Paw Patrol is diverse.
Kinda.
They have an Asian
brown.
in there.
Kinda. Kinda.
Asian puppy.
I don't even know how you saw an Asian puppy. But I guess the same way I saw a black puppy. As much as I was like, that feels racist, Chris. I was like, yours could be considered.
This Dalmatian's both black and white.
Yeah.
100% assuming that one of the Paw Patrol is Asian is really funny to me. Well, guy's obviously Asian. I've never watched Paw Patrol.
I have a million times.
No, we talked about this.
And Puppy Dog Pals.
Is Puppy Dog Pals is
Puppy
diverse?
Dog Pals. I love it that bad.
I love it that bad. There's a Nucky and a Wrigley.
It is on Puppy Dog Pals.
It's about Nucky and Wrigley.
It is about Nucky and Wrigley.
Except-
Nucky is still in the theater right now. He hates me. I should probably let him out, huh?
57 Buffalo police resigned from riot unit in protest of officers' suspension. Top line. All 57 members of the Buffalo Police Department's emergency response team resigned Friday from the unit in an apparent show of support for 2 officers who were suspended without pay after being filmed pushing a 75-year-old man to the ground Thursday night. Key facts. Friday afternoon, multiple outlets began reporting that the entire emergency response team, a total of 57 officers, resigned from their tactical unit to display solidarity with 2 suspended officers. The president of the union, representing Buffalo police officers, later confirmed that the entire ERT had resigned. This all stemmed from an encounter between police and an apparent protester Thursday evening, shortly after Buffalo's curfew began. That was filmed. The video quickly went viral Thursday night. The video shows a cluster of police officers in riot gear walking across Niagara Square when an elderly man approached and tried to talk with the officers. Someone can be heard shouting, "Push him back!" One officer raises his baton over the man while another pushes the man's chest. The 75-year-old man, later identified as Martin Gugino, falls to the ground backward and lies apparently unresponsive as a pool of blood is slowly forming under his head. The Buffalo Police Department's initial statement was that one person was injured when he tripped and fell in a skirmish between police and protesters. However, after the video started spreading, Police Commissioner Byron Lockwood suspended the officers and opened an investigation. The emergency response team members have not quit the police department, but have stepped down from the tactical unit, according to the Buffalo news sources. According to Buffalo Police Benevolent Association President John Evans,
Look, if I can't push old people, I don't feel comfortable doing this job.
Yeah, man.
that's the quote, yeah.
No, what is the quote?
No, the 2 suspended officers were merely following directives and that the 75-year-old man slipped. Our position is these officers were simply following orders from Deputy Police Commissioner Joseph Gramaglia to clear the square. It doesn't specify clear the square of men 50 and under or 15 to 40. They were simply doing their job. I don't know how much contact was made. He did slip in my estimation. He fell backwards. As of late Friday afternoon, the top message on the Buffalo's Police Union webpage read, "These guys did nothing but do what they were ordered to do. This is disgusting."
That's really good proof that they're trained wrong if they all think that that's the only way to clear the square. What happened there? How 59 other... We're trying to say that the cops have... People are like, all cops are bad? I don't know about this phrase, all cops are bad. And then people are like, well, it's just if a couple of cops are bad, they live in a system where all the cops aren't able to stand up for themselves. And we're like, well, that system doesn't really happen. And then it's like, well, these guys pushed an old white man. He started bleeding out the back of his head. Mm-hmm. All of them marched over him. The guy who pushed him got fired, and the 58 others resigned. Yeah. If that's not like... Well, guys, this is what we're talking about.
But they have to stick with them.
No, they didn't. They can say these are 2 bad apples.
Yeah, but then they'd be lying. They're all the same.
They're just apples.
They're all the same.
And the one thing
they're like, we have to, Chris. They've been taught this is a brotherhood. They have to stick together. They didn't say they were wrong in the video. They can't say they're wrong now. They didn't try to stop them right there. They marched over that man whose fucking head was bleeding. Blood was going down the fucking pavement, and they kept walking. You didn't say it wasn't okay then. It'd be rather hard for you to say we're not okay with it now. You gotta stand up for your brothers. And it's crazy that a Florida fucking police department said we'll hire the guys who resigned. We stand with you.
Yeah, what's that article? That's the one I hadn't heard.
Real quick.
What the fuck?
Let's see.
And y'all are trying to tell me this ain't a brotherhood of white supremacists who are like, fuck everything. It's us or nothing.
Definitely,
It's always been that way.
definitely think you can be violent at all costs. The crazy part is that this is also a white old man.
Yeah.
So it's just like, we just want to be violent and have the right to be violent.
Yeah.
That's who we are. Listen,
They couldn't hear him.
it's
He was,
mainly about us being violent.
did he come out and make a statement? Is he okay? I know he didn't die.
I know he went to the hospital. I don't know.
Yeah,
much
that video
about
was hard to watch.
It was
They did not give a
crazy. You
shit.
were like, what the fuck? Y'all don't really give a fuck. And that's something I hate to say, that like, as a black man, to try to make white people understand, sometimes you need videos that like, hey, they don't give a fuck about nobody either, but they don't give a fuck more about us, but they don't give a fuck. That's an old man. You pushed, I mean, his head is bleeding. They saw the blood too. It's not like they didn't see it. One of them pointed at it. It was like, oh, he's bleeding. And they kept it pushing. They're crazy, yo. They crazy.
Yeah. Again, we were talking earlier about like talking about something that isn't in the conversation, and I don't want to take away from the conversation, but I also want to remind anybody who isn't team Black Lives Matter inherently, like that also, like the police are against everybody. The police have been bad to everybody. I don't know. I just think police are, I don't know. Police have killed a friend of mine who was a white person, but that's because they didn't know what the fuck they were doing.
Yeah, but I feel like people.
But he wasn't killed because he was white. He was killed because they didn't know how to deal with somebody who was having a mental break.
I know. Yeah.
But and it is terrible that somebody who's, you know, that's not the same as being killed for something you can, like, for being black. But
somebody said they were like, when people get into this stupid argument of blue lives matter. It's like, blue lives not even a fucking thing. You're not blue. Something you're wearing. It's a profession. Doctors aren't being like, white lives matter.
Doctor lives matter.
I have on a white robe. I have to. White lives matter. Like, what?
All professions matter.
Yankees.
Yeah.
Pinstripes matter. It's just like.
Essential
That's
business.
It's just your fucking uniform. You can take that off. Black, I can't take that off. Black lives matter. Stop killing black people, you motherfuckers. But yeah, no, it's interesting. This whole time is interesting. But I'm happy and proud, and I'm gonna continue to push, obviously. But I'm proud of people for seeming to band together somewhat and be like, you know what? We stand with you, and this is bullshit. And that always feels good, because you know what? A lot of times as black people, not even a lot of times, majority of times throughout our history and throughout even my life, we're told a lot of times that we're crazy. You're crazy. What rights do we have that you don't have? You're crazy. And you're like, I'm not fucking crazy. I know what's going on around me. I know it's shit that you're not seeing that I'm seeing. I know it's a fucking different world. Don't tell me I'm crazy. That's so disrespectful. And that's what we've been told for so long, is that we're crazy. And at times you start thinking, well, am I crazy? Are we doing shit? No, we're not doing shit. It's the media. It's this, it's that. Like, we're not doing shit. So I'm just happy to feel like we're in a moment of people looking at us in the face and saying, hey, you're not crazy, man. I'm sorry, but you're not crazy. That feels good somewhat.
Let's see. Florida police organization offers to hire cops who were fired or resigned over police misconduct. As the cries for police reform grow louder across the nation, some police departments are holding their officers accountable, firing or suspending those accused of excessive force during recent protests. One Florida police organization has said it will rehire those very officers accused of misconduct, and that the offer is prompting outrage. On Saturday, the Brevard County chapter of the Fraternal Order of Police posted on a message on Facebook addressed to the Buffalo 5-7 and Atlanta 6, saying that it was hiring. The message reads, "Hey, Buffalo 57 and Atlanta 6, we are hiring in Florida, lower taxes, no spineless leadership or dumb mayors rambling on at press conferences. Plus, we got your back." Buffalo 57 appears to refer to the 57 police officers in Buffalo, New York, who resigned from the force's emergency response team following the suspension of 2 officers who were captured on video pushing a 75-year-old protester to the ground. Atlanta 6 refers to the 6 Atlanta police officers who were booked, 5 on felony charges after being accused of using excessive force on 2 black college students who were leaving a protest in their car.
Yep. Yeah. Y'all saw that video, right?
Yeah.
What? What's up?
I'm just like, it's so like, I mean, you know, the amount of times I've been disillusioned on this show already. But how much is this expected to you, John? I'm just wondering of your experience. You lie a little bit you're not white America, you're not black America.
Right.
How much do you expect it as much as Sterling does, or are you surprised at it as much as I am? Or I don't know. And I'm not trying to make you represent a bunch of people. Just you
personally, I am not surprised. Yeah, unfortunately.
I just think
sucks.
I mean, to me, I think you're right about the fact of it used to being a, you called it a secret, but like, I think it's even below secret, where it's like an unspoken thing. And then for these people, it's a secret. For these people, it was a secret. And now it's going from some people from secret to, no, that's what we are.
Yeah.
We will hire the people that were fired for protesting this. It's like,
yeah,
it's crazy that there are people in America in institutions that do that, and people aren't like appalled and like, get it the fuck out of here right now.
It's what the country was built on, Chris.
Yeah, shit. It's so true. Makes me sad.
It's like, it's actually crazier for people to think like you, and to be like, whoa, this, like, not saying that they shouldn't, saying that if we're really getting into what this country was built on, is what was taught, it's what was promised as well to a community. It's what was promised. This is the reason that white people are struggling with this, is because they look at equality as oppression. I don't want to be oppressed. I don't want to experience what they're experiencing. They know it's bad.
There's some successful black people, they say. That guy said in that thing.
There's
that girl's father.
There's some. What?
That guy said in the TikTok.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
But most of them in the ghetto only want to choose prison or ghetto-ness. Whatever he said. I don't fucking. Yeah, he was a crazy person.
It's me mad, man.
I'm really interested in the ideas of how you rebuild when you tear it all down, because I think that.
Oh, I think it'd be beautiful though.
Yeah.
I think where the people are. Well, I feel like the people are headed, and if we can stay there, it'd be beautiful of what the people could create if we really were to tear it all down and try to create again. I think that there would be a lot of. What was it, Chris? What was it when the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence was signed? What was it, like? Only one person who was like fucking 50. Everybody else was like 25, 26.
Yeah, everybody was pretty young.
20 fucking young. Yeah, so I feel like it'd be a lot of the youth leading the way again. I feel like it'd be a lot of young voices who really would be impactful and be like, oh, I know what we need to do. And I know, like, we as a team and as people were smart enough. And I think we'd have, like, definitely somebody that we felt like was an older leader still, or a face. But I think that the youth would be much more involved. And I think that that'd be beautiful. I think we'd be headed in the right direction if we let the youth lead us.
Yeah. And I kind of think I don't know that much about the Minneapolis mayor, but from what you said earlier, I think it's pretty cool that he's a younger guy, you know, in a city where they're going to go try to rebuild the whole police department. Or not rebuild, disband. The word is disband.
Yeah, disband.
So good luck to them, and I'm really excited for. I hope that can be a really positive thing. You know what I mean? That can be such a positive energy. When all this COVID is gone, and we've torn down the police department, and we're rebuilding the world. How about that for 2020 bingo, huh? 2021 bingo.
Yeah.
The world changes. We have a COVID vaccine, and we're figuring out how to restructure American society. That sounds pretty cool. 2020 to 21 bingo sounds.
Well, people were talking about, obviously this being a crazy year, but like, I think we are in a position right now that we could truly end this year out and look back and say this was one of the greatest years of the American people. Cool. And I think that's fucking really cool. To be like, whoa, everything that was actually promised, we're actually trying to force America to give it to us. All that stuff they promised. That's all we're asking for is the stuff they promised. And they're acting like we're crazy. Whoa, that wasn't for everybody. You could all see that? I thought we gave them goggles. The special goggles that allow them to just read.
Benjamin Franklin.
I think I'm feeling very optimistic right now because I feel like sometimes when you're at a really hard time in your life and you go, I don't know how the fuck I'm going to get through this, you wind up learning something and it's not the thing that you thought you were going to learn.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what 2020 is about for this country.
Yeah.
Oh. Give it up for John Ros being back. The people are talking.
What the fuck is this music, Chris?
That's Guess Who's Back.
Oh,
Am I ruining every ending to this show? Thanks for tuning in.
Zip it, zip it, zip it, zip it, zip it.
Zip it up. And zip it out. We'll see you next week. Guys, John Ros is back.
Give us that 5 stars on iTunes, please.
Oh, yeah. Back to the 5 stars, bitches.
Like, subscribe, comment. Tell us what you think about Wrigley this week. Zip it up, bye.